Namaste, Jai Bharat. It appears very vividly that the gap between Marxism, and Marxists is ever widening. Increasingly, very increasingly. On the one hand, there are theories which Marx propagated, actually wrote many. And on the other hand, the Marxists have many times nothing to do with any of the Marxian theories except the name. China is a classical living example in front of you. It's in front of you. But China is a different nation. We are not that worried about their theoretical complications. Everyone knows they have nothing to do with Marx. But then they have something to do with Marx in the sense that Marx did envisage a dictatorship. What he envisaged was dictatorship of the proletariats. But what we see in China and many other communist countries is dictatorship of the dictators, not of the proletariats. The proletariats per se, in his own words, Marx, they are far flung from ruling facilities, amenities, and other things of nationhood. Marx did envisage dictatorship of proletariats, but the China, like communist nations, they took dictatorship for granted. Proletariats भाड़ में जाएगा. Proletariats, they gone with the wind. So that is how Marxism, Marx, and Marxists are connected. Roughly, much deeper it is, much deeper it is. Now, we have communists' democracy or communists living in democracy. That is, they form a political communist party in a democracy and contest elections and come to power. Obviously, in time, they have also lost Marx. The political communist parties have long lost Marx. Now, the problem with them is, the communist parties, they don't have an ideology to guide them. The ideology that is supposed to be guiding them is Marxism, which they do not know. It's not that they have nothing to do with Marxism, but they do not know Marxism. They live at the organizational level and never beyond. The structured organizations they create, but nothing more than that. All other things are as they feel like. Their own thoughts, their own theories, their own actions to facilitate their own benefits. Why I say this is suddenly because I have seen the communist parties in Bharat are structurally corrupt and functionally also corrupt. The corruption has gone into the structure. Corruption means what? It's not that kind of a corruption what you commonly think. It's a deep state corruption, in the sense a deep rooted corruption. That is, they have no shame in taking donations from anyone to begin with. And donations they don't request, they demand. Anybody doing anything in an area where they are influential, they will say, oh, you are doing this, give this much to us. And that kind of thing goes on. They swindle money because they are somewhere in authority, or they have some influence in the through trade unions of the government workers or other workers, trade unions, or even political ruling, etc., or through representations in the elected bodies. They have certain influences. They use that influence to take donations. That is, just not requesting, they just dictate that this much of money you are giving to us. Not that you should give, you are giving to us. If anyone dares to dilly-dally, nobody says no to them point blank, Dilly Dally, they will see that his shop is closed. Whatever shop or whatever he does, they'll see to it that it is closed. Now, this used to be the normal thing with the communist parties in Bharat, which we have come across. Now, there is another kind of swindle money when natural disaster strikes. This we see in Kerala. When the disaster strikes, it's a very open opportunity for them to amass money by way of donations, by way of funds, by way of suggesting and projecting that we are going to do these. They collect money. Now, there is no account. The account in reality is what they say. No, so what? So there is no, we don't know how much money comes from which are sources. Those who give, they know. But many of them don't even say that. Anyway, so the money comes, fund comes, and the fund goes through several hands, and everyone takes whatever they want. Someone something leaves at last, and then in executing the project of maybe rehabilitation project, there is a huge nepotism and corruption, in the sense that they for 5 rupees thing they may give 20 rupees and buy something like that. So this kind of corruption goes on. Now, why I said natural disaster is that way back, a few years back, there was an incident in Kerala of a opening of dam, mismanagement of dam by the administration, and behind the administration the political rulers. They happened to open all the dams. It was a mistake in the sense they did not open dams. They collected maximum water in the dams during rain, thinking that they will be able to generate more electricity. That was only objective. But then, see, the water flow was much beyond their expectations, so they were forced to open all the shutters of dam, not one, more than one, many I suppose. All on a sudden, and then that flooded. Many people died. Many lost houses. It was a man-made disaster. Now, this disaster gave them an opportunity to bring funds from all over the place, wherever these people from Bharat, especially Kerala, living abroad. They even go to the extent of requesting them for funds. Somebody would raise the fund and send it to some organizations, etc. So they take. Now, this Wayanad disaster, huge landslide, so many people are still missing. It's real devastation. They collect money again. In the name of that, they will immediately rehabilitate people, construct this and construct that. Now, wherever this happened in the past, it appears there were some attempts to construct buildings, etc. But nothing is really effective, in the sense sometimes the electricity is not done, the plumbing is not done, sometimes the building collapses because of poor construction. Everywhere, at every step, there is spending more than the actually required, and really not spending so much, showing in account so much, and then really not spending. Instead of cement, they put more sand or things like that. So disproportionate engineering. So the building collapses naturally, not using iron rods sufficiently for concreting, and all those petty things everywhere. So the building collapses, or sometimes electricity is not coming. Somewhere still funny, because of the competition between different departments of the same government, the permission is not given by the concerned authority, corporation, municipality, whatever it is. The permission is not given, so water supply is not coming, so electricity is not given. So all kinds of new problems. So nothing is smooth. That's the point which I would like to make, in spite of all their propaganda and show and shouts that we have done rehabilitation. This is the past history of Kerala. I'm just looking back. Now, the Wayanad disaster. There is, I don't know real, authentically, this I am speaking on the basis of the information, news, etc., what I see. There is a demand that some 2,000 crores of rupees they are expecting from central government. They are asking the central government asks them to give the accounts. I mean, projected statements, whatever it is. So 2,000 crore rupees they are asking. Right. Remember, but with the government of India, they cannot afford not to give audited account. Now, how much they took, how much they spent on what, this they have to give. So they are not interested in that, because then you can't hadapo money. So money has to be hadapoed. पैसा हड़पना चाहिए तभी तो सब सारे काम हो रहा है. So they are reluctant as a matter of fact. But they still want the funds in their hands, and which they don't want to audit. No, auditing may be there, no, just show and eyewash auditing may be there. In the meantime, yesterday I heard a news that maybe a little old news, but I heard it yesterday. There's a society called as High Range Rural Development Society. High Range Rural Development Society. HRDS they call, it seems, in abbreviation. I don't know who are the people involved. Some videos I saw. It appears that they have some connections with the Hindu organization somewhere. It appears, I am not sure. So they seem to have their own sources. They seem to have told the government, say, look, you provide us the land. You provide simply the land. We will construct houses for all affected people in Wayanad disaster. Don't have to give us any money. Only thing, land you give us and permission to construct. Now, they will not react. They will not say anything. These people are voluntary organization. I really don't know the background, but it appears they are connected with some Hindu organizations. I don't, not with VHP, that I know. So maybe connected with some other kinds of Hindu organizations. So this they will not go. They are not going to react. They will not respond. They said, you give us permission and land. The rest we will do, and we will find out who are the deserving. We will give. This they will not even respond, and they will not let them. Actually, why I said all those things is, those who gather funds, donations from different organizations should see that their money should go to legitimate agencies who would do justice both to the donors and also to the affected. Now, one option is Seva Bharati, which we are positive that they are not going to steal money. They can't. The system is that. So you can give it to Seva Bharati. I don't know, Seva Bharati is doing something by way of construction. Nothing is not Seva Bharati. Maybe they will do. Or but they were active in the disaster front, and their news nobody covered. Normally they are unsung heroes. Normally RSS people are unsung heroes. They don't. They neither go to show their names, take credit. They are not interested in politics. Also otherwise, normally. So one option is that you can give to Seva Bharati. You can rest assured the money will be reaching in proper hands. Another one may be, if these people, what is their name? High Range Rural Development Society. If they appear to be genuine through their talks, I don't know, but they appear. Maybe if such people can take such big efforts, support them. If they are genuine, that you have to find out if they are genuine. But if you hand it over to the communists, there are some instances I didn't want to say of see the containers coming from different areas, and the Communist Party local neta takes the entire container to his personal godown and tries to take all the things. Then some other still a very local karyakarta of their party goes at night into the godown and fills their bags with things to carry out somewhere. Now this is the attitude. They have lost the principle and the spirit of Marxism or Marx. Exploitation, alienation, these people have no idea. For them, it's a way of living, in the sense they make a living out of political communism. All of them, from bottom to top, they make a living out of being politically communists, and they have their nexus, and the nexus is actually a caucus. They help one another. They build money. They build their funds, and they live in luxuries. And then for even a small thing, they would try to go abroad for surgery. All those kinds of that fetishisms are there. Now some people have this idea that go abroad, you get better treatment. And these are thoughts of people and beliefs of people. So some people wanted to go. They are largely uneducated. If you are educated, you hardly go to the very top place. They are largely uneducated, but projects themselves as Nishnads, scholars, knowledgeable, etc. Anyway, so both structurally and functionally corrupt, indisciplined. This is one thing. Indisciplined. Who would do anything? Marx has envisaged a situation of anarchy. Marxian anarchy, at least in principle, at least in theory, is supposed to be very scientific, supposed to be based on a principle of anarchy. But they have understood anarchy as manmani. I do whatever I feel like, and that kind of thing. So the anarchy, what Marx says, is entirely different from the anarchy the communists do practice on the ground level. Name is same, but entirely different. They would like to do anything what they feel like. That's the situation. So be careful when you make donations to whom you give, and try to find out where you do things. We just wanted to know, just wanted to say that there are pilferages in between. Till we meet again with another discussion, thought discussion. These are directions where one should think. These are directions where one should think. Don't jump into conclusions. Till we meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat. Jai Shri Ram.